Welcome back again. In this part, we will see how we can implement Redux into our React application. We will see step-by-step implementation. This is a simple example. In one file, you can see we have imported the create store from Redux, and what we have done, basically we have initialized a counter function which has an action type, switch on action type, increment and decrement. In the increment it is increasing the state with 1, and in the decrement it is decrementing the state with minus 1, with 1. And then it has created, and it is returning the state back to the component. And we have created a store where we have provided this, basically our reducer function to our store. And now we are subscribing to our store to get the state. We can get the state from the store. We can dispatch an increment method. If we are sending this increment, it will return us one incremented state, and then we have again called the incremented state. It will again increment the new state, and then we are calling the decrement state. It will send us one less than the state. So actually state we have applied a very basics of Redux. Now we will see how we can implement it in React step by step. This is just an overview and example. There are 7 steps that needs to be done. We have to install Redux and React Redux. We have to create a reducer function. We have to create a store passing in this reducer. We have to wrap our application app, basically app component, by using the provider. Then we have to create a map state to props. We have to create map dispatch to props, and we have to connect our application to Redux. These are the 7 steps that are required to use basically Redux store into our application. First thing is to install React Redux. To install React Redux, you have to install the Redux first, yarn add Redux or npm install Redux. Then you need to install React Redux. This is another optional thing, but it is a good thing. Redux dot dash dev tools, it provides you a development tool where you can see the Redux store state. So you will install these 3. This is our first step. In our second step, we have to create the reducer function. This is the same example where we have created a counter with state 0 and actions. And what are the actions? We have defined the action.type. We have 2 actually actions applied, and one is increment and one is decrement. In both cases, we are adding to the state, and we are decrementing a state. Keep in mind, every time it returns a state, it returns a new state. It actually does not override this state variable, although the name is same, but it has a previous state and a new state by default into a reducer, into your store. You can create it in same file as store, or independently, or anywhere else. It's up to you. You have to import it. You can create a reducer file and you can call it into a store file, or you can directly create the store into your main app and create the reducer into it. Then step 3 and 4, creating store. To create store, we have to import create store from the Redux, and we have to import providers from Redux, React Redux. To create a store, what we need to create a store with the create store, and this is our reducer function which we have implemented. After creating the store, we have to apply the provider over the app, encapsulated or wrapped our app component call into providers. Now what we did, we have written the providers, and provider is given with the store name which we have initialized here, and into that provider the app we have called the app. By doing this, we have provided this store, Redux store, to every component of our application. The store is available now, available to every component. We have wrapped our whole app, whole bunch of components over the provider. Now the combined code till now, if we write it in a single file, for example it is index.js, in which we are writing or app.js, sorry, index.js, whatever the file it is. What we have done, we have created a reducer function against and with that reducer function we have created a store. We have rendered the provider. This is what we have done until step 4. So after completing step 4, we have completed a major chunk. We have defined our action types, we have defined the reducers, we have defined our store, we have provided the store to our app. So these are all I have complete part. Now step 5, 6 and 7, what we need to do now, we are in app component. In app component we need to include the React Redux connect method, and after including the connect method, what we are doing, you can see we are calling the props.increment, props.decrement. We will see how this we are basically converting map state to props. Now the state variables, this increment and decrement, is alternatively converted into the props. So the client the component is calling the props.increment, props.decrement. So alternatively props adding and plus and minus button. So on this basis you are calling action against that clause. In the increment we are calling dispatch type increment, and the decrement we are calling dispatch type decrement. So map dispatch to props, there are two steps. We have converted our states to props using this function. Then using this function we have called the action against that basically function. Like increment, we have called the type increment, we have dispatch and provided the type increment. Dispatch will call our this function and will see the type, and accordingly will perform and provide us the state. And last thing what we need to do is to basically wrap up our application using connect, and in that connect we are providing map state to props and map dispatch to props, the function which we are using, map state to props and map dispatch to props. By using this, our application now is capable of handling states from the store. The store is the part of your application. Your dispatch, you use the dispatch, you have used the map dispatch to props, you have used map state to props, and you have also used the connect. And before that you have basically implemented the reducer function, you have created the store. So you have implemented all the concept of Redux, and using these few lines of code. Moreover, this is what we have in Redux. Moreover, using Redux, sometimes we have to apply a middleware. That middleware provides you a capability to hook into your calls. That is called like that middleware can be a thunk. Provides the capability to run code after an action is dispatched, but before it reaches the reducer. So it can hook in between and do some working in between. Like you are calling a REST API, and in between it can work. The thunk will perform its activity, and whenever the result will be returned, it will handle back the result. Form pipeline middleware forms pipeline that wraps around the dispatch, pass action onward, restarts the dispatch pipeline, access the source state. So these are the functionality which can be done by the middleware. What is a thunk actually? Thunk, in programming, a thunk is a subroutine used to inject an additional calculation in another subroutine. Delay a calculation until a result is needed. So if we are calling the REST API, it will wait till the time REST API sends us the result, and accordingly it provides us a method, a subroutine. You can apply the waiting part into it. Insert operations at the beginning or end of other subroutines. These are the concept of thunks. The Redux thunk is a middleware that allows you to write action creators that returns a function instead of an action. Can be used to delay the dispatch of an action or dispatch only if a certain condition is met. Inner function receives the dispatch and gets state stored saved. You have to install npm install minus save redux thunk into your application. After adding the thunk, what you need to do is to create basically a store and apply middleware thunk onto your store. So here what we are doing, we are providing the reducer function, and along with the reducer function we are also applying the thunk variable. You can see the complete fetch and example here where thunk has been applied on the fetch request. You can apply this thunk to the fetch request to get the data and to wait till the time it is waiting. You can show some other component and etc. All these concepts are available on this link. You can use this link. We will explain this link into our QA session also. The last thing is our React Redux form, which we have left in our forms part. React Redux form is a payout with which we can handle the forms using the Redux stores states. npm install React Redux form. You have to install the React Redux form, and then we will see two examples. One is of React Redux form directly, and then second is of local form. For example, this is a React Redux form. Here what we are using, we are basically dispatching any action to our basically store. Whenever something is clicked, whenever something some input is changed, we will call to our dispatch or our dispatch action listener to get a new state from store. And the process same, but the remaining process will remain the same. You are actually getting the data from the store instead of your own states. So this is the only difference. Remaining part will remain the same. You will create the same sort of input parameters here and etc. And on change you will call the dispatch with the action of data change, and that will return us a new state accordingly. But if you want to implement forms without the implementation of your Redux store etc., so that there is another option that is called the local form. For the local form you don't need Redux store, you don't need a dispatcher, you don't need basically a reducer function etc. You just install the React Redux form and import the local form. In that local form you will basically handle the information using dot model. This is actually a model, and it will update the information into that model, and you can use the control.text model. This model will contain the information of the state. So in this case I will upload a sample local form uh, where you can see how these models can be store the information and can be updated accordingly. So this local form is the easiest way to create the forms and handle the information within the component only. This is a very good option. You can use this also. So till now, in case of forms, we have seen a multiple sort of forms. We have seen the control forms, we have seen the uncontrolled forms, we have seen the React Redux forms, we have seen the local forms, we have seen the form IK, we have also seen basically hooks based form and so on. So there are multiple options you can use to create the forms. Hopefully we have enough for the React. Lastly I will create the same sample app and will upload it onto the GitHub repository. You can follow that onto the GitHub repository. I will upload it before our QA session, and in that I will implement most of the concept like Redux, like fetch or Axio. I will implement the forms, control based form, uncontrolled forms. I will implement the bootstrap, React strap, etc. So all concept will be implemented into that an application, and we will we will take the same concept of LMS to implement the React application. That's all. Hopefully you have learned a number of things from our mean stack and MERN stack. programming classes. Hopefully you can apply these React concepts or your Angular concept onto your projects. Best of luck. Thank you very much.